Please sit in any comfortable posture with your hands on your knees in Jnan or Chin Mudra. The head, neck, shoulders, back, all in a straight line. Eyes and mouth gently closed. Become aware of the whole body from the top of your head to your toes. If there is any tension in any part of the body, you can move that body part and dissipate that tension. And as soon as possible, try to come into a state of motionlessness. Having observed your body completely, bring your awareness to your breath. And for a few moments, let your awareness be on your breath as well as the body, both the objects. Now include the awareness of the mind, your thoughts, and emotions. And we shall now get ready to begin the session. Shift your awareness to your eyebrow center, Bhru Madhya, and at the Bhru Madhya, try to visualize the form of Sri Ganesha. Keeping your awareness on this form, we shall chant the mantra Om 3 times altogether. Take in a deep breath. Shanti mantra. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Maintaining the awareness of Shri Ganesh at the eyebrow center. Gently bring your palms together, rub them against each other, place them on the closed eyes, and after some time, move the palms away. Open your eyes. Hari Om. So, today, on the fifth day of our Ganesh Aradhana, we shall continue and try to go a step deeper. As usual, we shall start with the sensitization of our being using the mantra and the Nadi Shodhan Pranayama, a combination of two aspects of yoga, pranayam and nada. These two together have a synergistic effect which orients our entire personality and makes it ready for receiving Ganesha and offering our chants. So let us get ready for Nadi Shodhan Pranayam. Let us use the ratio 1 is to 1 is to 1 is to 1. We breathe in through the left nostril with one mantra, internal retention with one mantra, exhalation with one mantra, and external retention also with one mantra. Then we breathe in through the right, hold, breathe out through the left, hold. This forms one round. And we shall perform a total of 3 rounds. Do you need me to give the mantra and the guidance with the mantra, or are all able to start on your own? If you need me to start with the mantra for the first round like yesterday and day before, let me know. Otherwise, I feel by now we have got the hang of it. We have been doing Nadi Shodhan Pranayam. We have been doing it with the numbers. The only difference is instead of numbers, we are using mantra as a scale of time. So let us try to do all the 3 rounds at our own pace once I give the signal to start. Get ready for Nadi Shodhan Pranayam. Hand in Nasagra Mudra and start with 1 is to 1 is to 1 is to 1 ratio and complete 3 rounds of the Nadi Shodhan Pranayam using the mantra Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha as the meter or the scale. You may begin now. And now complete your practice with this exhalation. Bring your hand down, keeping your eyes closed. get ready to chant the Sankalpa mentally. The three coordinates the activity of Atharva Shirsha chanting with a cumulative effect, the objective of cosmic well-being and universal health. सर्वे अपि सुखिनः सन्तु, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. If somebody would like to add something to the sankalpa, some personal desire, some specific objective, now is the time to add it. Open your heart and offer your everything to Ganesha.
આવવાનું મન બી નથી થતું ઘણી વાર જવું હોસ્પિટલ મન ના થાય.
And having taken the sankalpa, visualize the image of Guru, that force who introduces you to the divine. Offer your sincere and humble pranams to the Guru Tattva. And now we shall get ready to place the locks in place, the psychic locks, so that the energy which we have will invoke will not get dissipated or lost. I shall chant the mantra, and as I take the name of a body part, visualize that body part and imagine that a psychic lock is coming up in that place. Now we shall begin. Om Gam Angushtabhyam Namaha. Om Gim Tarjanebhyam Namaha. Om Gum Madhyamabhyam Namaha. Om Gaim Anamikabhyam Namaha. Om Gaum Kanishthikabhyam Namaha. Om Gahaha Karatala Karaprushtabhyam Namaha. Om Gam Rudayaya Namaha. Om Gim Shirase Swaha. Om Gum Shikhaya Vashata. Om Gaim Kavachaya Hum. Om Gaum Netratrayaya Vaushata. Gahaha Asraya Fata. Iti Digbandhaha. Having prepared the place, we shall now invoke the Ganesha Tattva with the Dhyana Mantra. Please gently open your eyes, pull out the Dhyana Mantra, and we shall chant it together. Karvam Stulatanum Gajendra Vadanam Lambodaram Sundaram Prasyandan Madagandhalubdha Madhupa Vyalolagandasthalam Dantaghata Vidaritari Rudirai Sindura Shobhakaram Vande Shaila Sutam Ganapatim Siddhipradam Kamadam. Om. लं पृथिव्यात्मकं गन्धं कल्पयामि, हम आकाशात्मकं पुष्पं कल्पयामि, यं वायव्यात्मकं धूपं कल्पयामि, रम् अग्न्यात्मकं दीपं कल्पयामि, वम् अमृतात्मकम् अमृतमयमहानैवेद्यं कल्पयामि। नमः। Now we shall chant the Ganapati Atharva Shirsha 3 times. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Deva. Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha. Sthirairangai Sushtvabhumsastanubhihi Vyashema. Devahitam Yadayuhu. Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravaha. स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। अथ श्री गणेशाथर्वशीर्षं व्याख्यास्यामः। ओम नमस्ते गणपतये त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्ता आसि त्वमेव केवलं धर्ता आसि त्वमेव केवलं हर्ता आसि त्वमेव सर्वं खल्विदं ब्रह्मासि त्वं साक्षादात्मासि नित्यं ऋतं वच्मि सत्यं वच्मि अवत्वं माम् अववक्तारम् अवश्रोतारम् अवदातारम् अवधातारम् अवानुचानमवशिष्यम् अवपश्चात्तात् अवपुरस्तात् अवोत्तरात्तात् अवदक्षिणात्तात् अवचोर्ध्वात्तात् अवाधरात्तात् सर्वतो मां पाहि पाहि समन्तात् त्वं वाङ्मयस्त्वं चिन्मयः त्वम् आनन्दमय त्वं ब्रह्ममयः त्वं सच्चिदानन्दा अद्वितीयोऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयोऽसि सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तो जायते सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तस्तिष्ठति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि लयमेष्यति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि प्रत्येति त्वं भूमिरापो नलो निलो नभः त्वं चत्वारि वाक्पदानि त्वं गुणत्रयातीतः त्वं अवस्थात्रयातीतः त्वं देहत्रयातीतः त्वं कालत्रयातीतः त्वं मूलाधारस्थितोऽसि नित्यं त्वं शक्तित्रयात्मकः त्वां योगिनो ध्यायन्ति नित्यं त्वं ब्रह्मास्त्वं विष्णुस्त्वं रुद्रस्त्वम् इन्द्रस्त्वम् अग्निस्त्वं वायुस्त्वं सूर्यस्त्वं चन्द्रमास्त्वं ब्रह्मभूर्भुवस्वरों गणादिं पूर्वमुच्चार्य वर्णादिं तदनन्तरम् अनुस्वारपरतरः अर्धेन्दुलसितं तारेण रुद्धम् एतत्तव मनुस्वरूपं गकारः पूर्वरूपम् अकारो मध्यमरूपम् अनुस्वारश्चान्त्यरूपं बिन्दुरुत्तररूपं नादसन्धानं संहिता संधिः स ईशा गणेश विद्या गणकऋषिः निचरुद्गायत्री छन्दः गणपतिर्देवता ओम गं गणपतये नमः। एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात् एकदन्तं चतुर्हस्तं पाशं कुशधारिणं रदं च वरदं हस्तैः बिभ्राणं मूषकध्वजं रक्तं लम्बोदरं शूर्पकर्णकं रक्तवाससं रक्तगन्धानुलिप्ताङ्गं रक्तपुष्पैः सुपूजितं भक्तानुकम्पिनं देवं जगत्कारणमच्युतम् आविर्भूतं च सृष्ट्यादौ प्रकृते पुरुषात् परम् एवं ध्यायति यो नित्यं स योगी योगिनां वरः। ओम नमो व्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रमथपतये नमस्ते अस्तु लंबोदराय एकदन्ताय विघ्ननाशिने शिवसुताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमो नमः। ओम नमस्ते गणपतये त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्ता आसि त्वमेव केवलं धर्ता आसि त्वमेव केवलं हर्ता आसि त्वमेव सर्वं खल्विदं ब्रह्मासि त्वं साक्षादात्मासि नित्यं ऋतं वच्मि सत्यं वच्मि अवत्वं माम् अववक्तारम् अवश्रोतारम् अवदातारम् अवधातारम् अवानुचानमवशिष्यम् अवपश्चात्तात् अवपुरस्तात् अवोत्तरात्तात् अवदक्षिणात्तात् अवचोर्ध्वात्तात् अवाधरात्तात् सर्वतो मां पाहि पाहि समन्तात् त्वं वाङ्मयस्त्वं चिन्मयः त्वम् आनन्दमय त्वं ब्रह्ममयः त्वं सच्चिदानन्दा अद्वितीयोऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयोऽसि सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तो जायते सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तस्तिष्ठति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि लयमेष्यति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि प्रत्येति त्वं भूमिरापो नलो निलो नभः त्वं चत्वारि वाक्पदानि त्वं गुणत्रयातीतः त्वम् अवस्थात्रयातीतः त्वं देहत्रयातीतः त्वं कालत्रयातीतः त्वं मूलाधारस्थितोऽसि नित्यं त्वं शक्तित्रयात्मकः त्वां योगिनो ध्यायन्ति नित्यं त्वं ब्रह्मास्त्वं विष्णुस्त्वं रुद्रस्त्वं इन्द्रस्त्वं अग्निस्त्वं वायुस्त्वं सूर्यस्त्वं चन्द्रमास्त्वं ब्रह्मभूर्भुवस्वरं गणादिं पूर्वमुच्चार्य वर्णादिं तदनन्तरम् अनुस्वारप्रतरः अर्धेन्दुलसितं तारेण रुद्धम् एतत्तव मनुस्वरूपं गकारः पूर्वरूपम् अकारो मध्यमरूपम् अनुस्वारश्चान्त्यरूपं बिन्दुरुत्तररूपं नाददाहं संहिता संधिः स ईशा गणेश विद्या गणक ऋषिः निचरुद्गायत्री छन्दः गणपतिर्देवता ओम गं गणपतये नमः एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात् एकदन्तं चतुर्हस्तं पाशमं कुशधारिणं रथं च वरदं हस्तैः बिभ्राणं मूषकध्वजं रक्तं लम्बोदरं शूर्पकर्णकं रक्तवाससं रक्तगन्धानुलिप्ताङ्गं रक्तपुष्पैः सुपूजितं भक्तानुकम्पितं देवं जगत्कारणमच्युतम् आविर्भूतं च सृष्ट्यादौ प्रकृते पुरुषात् परम् एवं ध्यायति यो नित्यं स योगी योगिनां वरः ओम नमो व्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रमथपतये नमस्ते अस्तु लंबोदराय एकदन्ताय विघ्ननाशिने सुताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमो नमः ओम नमस्ते गणपतये त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं धर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं हर्तासि त्वमेव सर्वं खल्विदं ब्रह्मासि त्वं साक्षादात्मासि नित्यं ऋतं वच्मि सत्यं वच्मि अवत्वं माम् अववक्तारम् अवश्रोतारम् अवदातारम् अवधातारम् अवानुचानमवशिष्यम् अवपश्चात्तात् अवपुरस्तात् अवोत्तरात्तात् अवदक्षिणात्तात् अवचोर्ध्वात्तात् सर्वतो मां पाहि पाहि समन्तात् त्वं वाङ्मयस्त्वं चिन्मयः त्वम् आनन्दमय त्वं ब्रह्ममयः त्वं सच्चिदानन्दा अद्वितीयोऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयोऽसि सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तो जायते सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तस्तिष्ठति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि लयमेष्यति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि प्रत्येति त्वं भूमिरापो नलो निलो नभः त्वं चत्वारि वाक्पदानि त्वं गुणत्रयातीतः त्वम् अवस्थात्रयातीतः त्वं देहत्रयातीतः त्वं कालत्रयातीतः त्वं मूलाधारस्थितोऽसि नित्यं त्वं शक्तित्रयात्मकः त्वां योगिनो ध्यायन्ति नित्यं त्वं ब्रह्मास्त्वं विष्णुस्त्वं रुद्रस्त्वं इन्द्रस्त्वं अग्निस्त्वं वायुस्त्वं सूर्यस्त्वं चन्द्रमास्त्वं ब्रह्मभूर्भुवस्वरं गणादिं पूर्वमुच्चार्य वर्णादिं तदनन्तरम् अनुस्वारप्रतरः अर्धेन्दुलसितं तारेण रुद्धम् एतत्तव मनुस्वरूपं गकारः पूर्वरूपम् अकारो मध्यमरूपम् अनुस्वारश्चान्त्यरूपं बिन्दुरुत्तररूपं नादसन्धानं सगमिता संधिः स ईशा गणेश विद्या गणक ऋषिः निचरुद्गायत्री छन्दः गणपतिर्देवता ओम गं गणपतये नमः एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात् एकदन्तं चतुर्हस्तं पाशमं कुशधारणं रथं च वरदं हस्तैः बिभ्राणं मूषकध्वजं रक्तं लंबोदरं शूर्पकर्णकं रक्तवाससं रक्तगन्धानुलिप्ताङ्गं रक्तपुष्पैः सुपूजितं भक्तानुकम्पिनं देवं जगत्कारणमच्युतम् आविर्भूतं च सृष्ट्यादौ प्रकृते पुरुषात् परम् एवं ध्यायति यो नित्यं स योगी योगिनां वरः ओम नमो व्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रमथपतये नमस्ते अस्तु लंबोदराय एकदन्ताय विघ्ननाशिने सुताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमो नमः एतदथर्वशीर्षमयोधिते स ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते स सर्वतः सुखमेदते स सर्वविघ्नैर्न बाध्यते स पंचमहापापात् प्रमुच्यते सायं धियानो दिवसकृतं पापं नाशयति प्रातरधियानो रात्रिकृतं पापं नाशयति सायं प्रातः प्रयुञ्जानो अपापो भवति सर्वत्राधियानोपविघ्नो भवति धर्मार्थ काम मोक्षं च विन्दति इदम् अथर्वशीर्षम शिष्याय न देयम् यो यदि मोहात् दास्यति स पापीयान् भवति सहस्रावर्तनात् यं यं काममधीते तं तमनेन साधयेत् अनेन गणपतिमभिषिञ्चति स वाग्मी भवति चतुर्थ्यां मनश्रं जपति स विद्यावान् भवति इत्यथर्वणवाक्यं ब्रह्माद्यावरणं विभक्ति स वै श्रवणोपमो भवति यो लाजैर्यजति स यशोवान् भवति स मेधावान् भवति यो मोदकसहस्रेण यजति स वाञ्छितफलमवाप्नोति यः साज्यः समिर्भिर्यजति स सर्वं लभते अष्टौ ब्राह्मणान् सम्यक् ग्राह्यत्वा सूर्यवर्चस्वी भवति सूर्यग्रहे महानद्यां प्रतिमासन्निधौ वा जप्त्वा सिद्धमन्त्रो भवति महाविघ्नात् प्रमुच्यते महादोषात् प्रमुच्यते महापापात् प्रमुच्यते स सर्वविद् भवति य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषत्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Maintain the awareness of Sri Ganesha and his form. And let it fill every pore of your being. Now we integrate this experience within ourselves and then release the energy which we had invoked here for our evening. Om Gam Hridayaya Namaha. Om Gim Shirashe Swaha. Om Gum Shikhaya Vashata. Om Gaim Kavachaya Hum. Om Gaum Netratrayaya Vaushat. Om Gahaha Astraya Pat. Itidigmokaha. Guhyati Guhya Gotratvam Gruhanasmatkrutam Japam Siddhir Me Deva Tvatprasadad Maheshwara Yadaksharapadabhrashtam Matrahinam च यद् भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव प्रसीद परमेश्वर विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व परमेश्वर मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं सुरेश्वर यत्पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्णं तदस्तु मे अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्य भावेन रक्ष रक्ष परमेश्वर रक्ष रक्ष परमेश्वर रक्ष रक्ष परमेश्वर। Keep your mind on Shri Ganesha and the impact of the vibrations of the mantra with. Then slowly bring your awareness back to the body. Awareness on the sounds within the room. Awareness on the sounds outside the room. Slowly. Then open your eyes. Hari Om. That's it. Namo Narayana. So now we will try and understand and continue where we had left yesterday. We had completed the 4th verse, and then the 5th verse again recapitulates the primacy, the omnipotence, omnipresence, and omniscience of the Ganesha Tattva. Because we have to remember that Ganesha came as the first vibration, and therefore his omnipresence, omnipotence, and omniscience is the same as the cosmic consciousness, the ultimate cosmic consciousness. And this is the same thing which they repeat once again here. You are the cause of the creation of the entire world. It is only due to you that this entire cosmos is sustained. You decide and then take it to dissolution and then reconstruct. This entire cosmos is within you. Tvam bhumi apo analo anilo nabhaha. You are all the 5 elements in the scope of the Indian philosophy. All the creation is said to have come from the 5 primary elements. Bhumi, earth, Apa, water, Anala, fire, Anila, air, Nabha, space. So these 5 elements are considered to be the building blocks, and the author says that all these elements, they find their origin within you. You are within all of them. When this person had that experience of the Ganesh Tattva and tried to look around, he saw everywhere the same Tattva is present. In earth, in water, in fire, in air, in space, you have the same Tattva present. Not only that, the Vani, the speech in Indian philosophy is considered to be of 4 levels, 4 types. Vaikhari, Madhyama, Pashyanti, Para. Vaikhari is speaking out loud. And from there, it goes on getting more and more and more subtle. The last is Para. Para means that is which is beyond matter. As we had discussed in Anahat Chakra, the unstruck sound, that is the Paranad. So there are these 4 types of Vani. They all have origin in you. Tvam gunatrayatitaha. The cosmos has 3 gunas: Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. You, Tvam gunatraya atitaha. You are beyond the 3 gunas. Tvam avasthatrayatitaha. You are beyond the 3 avasthas. Tvam dehatrayatitaha. You are beyond the 3 bodies. Tvam kalatrayatitaha. You are beyond time. What are the avasthatraya? The state of mind. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. And he is transcending beyond that. Waking, sleeping, in the dream state, or in the deep sleep. Beyond that. Tvam dehatrayatitaha, the gross body, the subtle body, and then the causal body. He is beyond that. Past, present, future. He is beyond that too. And such a person, such a phenomena, which is beyond everything, which is beyond everyone, which is the origin of everything, where does it stay? Tvam Mooladhara Sthitosi Nityam. You reside in Mooladhara. Tvam Shaktitrayatmakaha. Durga, Kali, Lakshmi, Saraswati. The Shaktitraya. Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti. He is beyond all of that. In the philosophy, Indian philosophy, the evolution happens in a specific manner. It is said that you have the Brahman and you have Maya, or you have Purusha and Prakriti. There are few subtle differences which differentiate these two, but for our initial consideration, these two are different principles. When the Prakriti, she, according to yoga, there are two eternal principles, Purusha and Prakriti. And Purusha is the cognition principle from where the entire cosmos came about. And Prakriti is the dynamic principle, which is responsible for this entire manifestation. But she cannot do anything on her own. Prakriti is made up of three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, 33.33, 30.33, 33.33 in equilibrium. It is when Purusha gives a nudge, then there is a disturbance in this equilibrium and the creation begins. It starts from the subtlemost coming down to the five elements, the Pancha Mahabhuta. Ganesha is beyond all of that. He is the origin of all creation. And this origin of all creation is a very abstract concept up there. We cannot understand it, nor can we access it. So, what is the whole point? If it is everything is beyond us, everything is, you might be the greatest, but if I have no access to you, what use is your greatness to me? No, 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 no. He is the greatest, but he is not inaccessible. Tvam Mooladhara Sthitosi Nityam. You stay in Mooladhara. How? Nityam. All the time. There is no time when he is not there. On day one, we had spoken of that story of Shri Ganesha, where he was created by Parvati, the clone of Parvati. And she asked him to wait outside when she is in her private chambers. Nobody could come there. Yes, it could be a story. It is a figurative way of expressing something which is there in our body. Kundalini Shakti is residing in Mooladhara, but we cannot access her. Only through Ganesha can we access her. And that is what is said. When Ganesha stood there, nobody could come in. Until and unless Ganesha was propitiated, access to Devi not possible. Ganesha is in Mooladhara. Until and unless Ganesha is propitiated, Kundalini cannot move. So therefore, that is the primacy of Ganesha. And that is the essential nature of the Aradhana of Ganesha. And this Aradhana is very powerful, mind you. I'm sure all of you would know that this Ganesh Aradhana used to be performed since a long time in India. But it is very relatively recent that it became a public social phenomena. And the credit to this goes to Lokmanya Bal Gangadhar Tilak. He had an inspiration and he brought out this worship into the public and said that Ganesha is Vignaharta. At that point, India was struggling under the foreign rule, British rule, and they needed to get freedom. It wasn't working. Lokmanya Tilak invoked the Ganesha energy and he had the grace of Ganesha. That is why it took off. In a very short time, Ganesha festivities became a very powerful and public phenomena and became a means of awakening people. Tvam Mooladhara Sthitosi Nityam. Until and unless that first lock is opened, we can't go anywhere. That is the significance of Ganesha. Luckily for us, he is very benevolent. Propitiating him is very easy. And propitiating him can be done in multiple ways. We shall be discussing these ways in the next few days. We already have spoken a little bit about the other aspects of yoga. We shall be speaking about some other aspects about bhakti and why is bhakti considered to be very essential. In Kali Yuga, it is only bhakti which is said to be able to uplift humankind. And in Kali Yuga, there are only two deities, two energies who are considered to be most potent. One of them is Ganesha. Kalau Chandi Vinayakau. So that is the importance and significance. We can approach Ganesha through a ritualistic manner. We can approach Ganesha through an energetic principle manner. We can approach Ganesha through the intellect, the Vani, the literature, the Vidya. We can also approach Ganesha through bhakti. And there is yet another way, through the principles of yoga and spiritualism. Because those principles are very close to the scientific principles. Even the approach in Kundalini Yoga or in Bhakti Yoga or in different forms of yoga will go through that. So this is what we need to understand. Why we need to do what we are doing. Just a little bit of chanting brings about a change within us. It is essential that we need to integrate that within us. If not, we will lose that energy after some time. That is something which should not happen. We shall continue about this tomorrow. And now we shall discuss a question. Rajendra, what was the next question? We discussed that first question about COVID. I think I have it. You have sent it to me. How to maintain our inner happiness? How to increase bhav? And how can we use the visualization technique in day-to-day life? These are all very nice questions, you know. Whoever has asked it is a good sadhak, I must say. How to maintain our inner happiness? Let us speak a little bit about that. Because happiness is something which all of us want. Everybody wants happiness. Not only humans, but even animals. Nobody wants pain. Nobody wants suffering. Everybody wants happiness. The question is, what is happiness? And why do we lose happiness? Is happiness something which is external, or is happiness something which is internal? We might feel that happiness is something external. Oh, if I get first class, I will be very happy. But the day I get first class, I am happy. And the next day, I want a new car. Once I get that car, then I will be happy. I get that car, but then I want that new bungalow. Then I want something else, and I want something else, and something else. And what happens to poor happiness? We had thought that we get a car and we will be happy. We thought we'll get ABC and we will be happy. But we don't get that happiness. It doesn't last. It goes away. Is it not true? Have we all not experienced it? Everybody has experienced. Yeah. Yes, everybody has experienced it. Happiness is there, and then happiness leads to sorrow. And we oscillate between happiness and sorrow like a pendulum. And unfortunately, most of us are in the state of sorrow most of the times. So therefore, this question, how can we maintain inner happiness? I think there is nothing known as inner happiness and outer happiness. There is only happiness. What you would rather call is, you can call it as inner happiness. I would rather call it as the real happiness, because happiness is a state of mind. We try to associate that experience of happiness with something external. We attach through our mental gymnastics, we attach the feeling of happiness to something external. But actually, happiness is not external. Happiness is internal. And if we are able to connect to that principle, then there is no moment when we are unhappy. We allow ourselves to become unhappy. The situation doesn't make us unhappy. This is one single point which might be very difficult to comprehend. But until and unless we don't comprehend this thing, that happiness is a state of mind which is within us, and we choose not to connect to that, but we connect to something external. And when we have a sweet, we feel happy. We eat the sweet, the sweet is lost because it has been consumed, or it is lost for whichever reason. And once we lose the sweet, then the separation from that object causes sorrow. Attachment of the object, sense object, causes happiness, and separation from that object causes sorrow. And in the external world, anything and everything is perishable. So whatever item we attach our happiness to is sometime or the other going to go away. And the moment it goes away, sometimes not even when it goes away, sometimes just the thought, oh my God, I'm having so much of money. I have got this lottery from Kaun Banega Karodpati. God, if I lose it, what will happen? I have started losing my sleep. I was happy 5 minutes ago, but this thought came in my mind and all my happiness started going away. It started melting away. I still have that money with me, but I'm no longer happy. That is because we have identified way too much with the sense objects. What are the sense objects? The external world. They are the sense objects. Those objects which can be perceived through the five senses are the sense objects. And these sense objects, when they come in contact with the senses, they will give a trigger. The moment it is taken away, the trigger goes away. The opposite of that trigger takes place in us. And so therefore we oscillate between that pendulum of happiness and sorrow, since we are using the example of happiness and sorrow. The questioner has asked, how can we connect to inner happiness? What is the essence of an individual? Earlier, yesterday or day before, yesterday I think, yes, yesterday, we heard, Tvam Vangmayas Tvam Chinmayaha, Tvam Anandamaya Tvam Brahmamayaha, Tvam Sat Chit Anandat Vidyosi. Sat Chit Anand. That is considered to be my original, true nature. Sat, truth, eternal truth. Chit, consciousness. Blissful, effulgent consciousness. Anandam, joy, bliss. So that we are Sat Chit Anand. Unfortunately, we have lost that connection within us and we are looking outside. As and when we are able to connect within, we remain always happy, cheerful, happy, blissful. Just like the children. You look at a small infant, 6 months, 1 year, he is at the mercy of everybody. He has absolutely no control over himself or his situation, but he's always happy, always. Even if it cries for 5 minutes, again it starts smiling. Why? Because there is something which it is connected to. That is the inherent nature, and we are connected to that. In short, if we want to connect to inner happiness, we should become childlike, balavat, not balish, not childish. Childish is extremely irritating and extremely painful for others. But Balavat, childlike, it's amazing quality that we have to try and develop within us. How do we do that? To do that, we first need to work with ourselves. All these layers which we have created on ourselves. And mind you, I am not speaking about all those spiritual layers, because all those stuff is way beyond us. We can't reach that in this lifetime. Maybe some of you can, I'm sure I can't. So what can we do? We can be like a child. How is a child? A child is innocent. A child is simple. And a child is trusting. We do not know who our father is. Our mother told that, look, beta, he is your father. And we trusted. Maybe later on, when our khopdi became strong, that we want to do DNA testing, this, that, the other. But otherwise, it is trust. Because when we have that trust, when we have that innocence, then we are in touch with that inner happiness. Innocence should not be confused with naivety, with stupidity, foolishness. No. Innocence is a quality of being simple, being observant and connected. And foolishness or naivety is a quality where we are gullible, we are simple, yes, but we are not observant. You look at a child, the child is always very observant. Everything it is observing very keenly. But that does not mean that it has lost the connection within itself. That is innocence. Ability to connect and have faith, trust, have shraddha, that there is somebody who is there taking care of us. The child is least bothered where his food is going to come from or where her food is going to come from, where anything is going to happen. Aram says, just lying and playing around. Because he knows that the mother is there and mother will take care. That trust. And we have lost this trust. How do we gain that form? In Tulsi Ramayana, in the beginning, it is said, Bhavani Shankarau Vande Shraddha Vishwas Rupinam Yabhyam Vinana Pashyanti Siddha Swantasthamishwaram. Who is Bhavani and Shankar? Shraddha and Vishwas. And without these, even spiritually adept people will not be able to connect within. And how can you attain that? Tulsi Ramayana is an excellent text on bhakti. That connection which develops on its own. We don't need to apply our brains, our mind, but we refine our heart, refine our emotions. And when we refine our emotions, we start connecting within to that higher reality. And once that connection starts coming in, happiness is your nature. Nobody can take it away from you. In the same way as happiness is inherent in infants, children, as long as they don't get exposed to our crooked ways of this world, in the same manner, we have to rediscover that. And the way to do that is through bhakti. The easiest way. There are so many ways. The easiest way, especially in Kali Yuga, is through bhakti. And therefore, how can we rediscover inner happiness, in a nutshell by bringing bhakti in our lives. And what is bhakti? We shall try to touch a little bit about this topic tomorrow. Each topic in itself is so vast that if we talk about it, we can talk for ages. People have written big, thick theses on these matters. But we don't want to get into this khopdi business. We want to experience that. And step by step, we are moving in that direction. So, this is the knowledge which is most important. At this point, I will take 5 minutes more and bring a point to you, which I feel is very essential. The Indian philosophy speaks of 5 elements, and the other philosophy which is ruling the world, the Greek philosophy, because from Greek philosophy came Roman, and from Roman came the modern civilization, so to say. That civilization considered there are 4 elements: earth, water, fire, air. Those things which we can perceive through our senses. That aspect which is beyond our senses, they said, does not exist. And what is beyond our senses? Only one tattva, the Atma tattva. Atma, they said, there is nothing like Atma. This is, in India also, we had a philosophy that way. That is known as the Charvak philosophy. And he was a master, mind you. He was a great philosopher, a great scholar. And he said that there is nothing called as Atma, this, that, the other, similar to the modern civilization. And there is one very famous stanza, shloka, about Charvak philosophy. Yavat jivet sukham jivet, runam krutva ghrutam pibet, bhasmi bhutasya dehasya punaragamanam kutaha. Yavat jivet sukham jivet. As long as I live, let me just be merry. Runam krutva ghrutam pibet. In olden days, ghee was considered to be a sign of high affluence. So, runam krutva, I'll take loan, but still I will enjoy the ghee. Doesn't matter if I am in debt. Let me enjoy the ghee. Bhasmi bhutasya dehasya. This body which is going to perish anyways, from dust to dust and ashes to ashes, it's going to happen. Punaragamanam kutaha. Where is the question of coming back? This body is going to die. I have taken a loan. No big deal. There is no consequences for that. And if you observe, this is exactly the philosophy which we all are living today. I meet anybody and everybody. They always say, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to earn more. Why? Oh, because my EMIs are so high. So what is this EMI? Do you know what is this EMI? I don't know what this EMI is. Does anybody know what this EMI business is? आप लोगों को भी नहीं मालूम है? कमाल है. किसी को मालूम है ये EMI क्या चीज है? किसी को नहीं मालूम है?
Installments, na, which we pay, the loan which we take.
Loan, oh, ऋणम कृत्वा घृतम पिबेत. कर्जा लेंगे लेकिन बढ़िया गाड़ी लेंगे, कर्जा लेंगे लेकिन सब चीज करेंगे. Let me enjoy because there is no tomorrow. This becomes the basis of losing that connection, because our entire life is now based on a philosophy, although we have never thought about it. Our life is based on a philosophy. भैया जो है अभी है, आज के बाद कल कुछ है ही नहीं. So my original nature, Sat Chit Ananda, I have negated it completely. And if I have negated that concept completely, how can I connect to that inner happiness? I am negating that inner happiness. Please don't understand this to be a way that we have to stop the life and we have to, make radical changes. No, we have to be practical. We are in different times. We have to adjust with those times. But in our mind, we need to know what are we doing? Why are we doing? What are the consequences of that? Is it really essential for me? Because at the end of the day, it is not money which gives me happiness. It is happiness which gives me happiness. So let me cultivate happiness. And how do I cultivate happiness? What is it that gives me happiness? Many times it's just a smile from somebody else's face. कोई आपको बढ़िया से मुस्कुरा देता है, अरे दिन एकदम गार्डन हो जाता है. ऐसे ही बोलते हैं ना आप लोग, दिल गार्डन हो गया. एकदम just a smile from somebody, a good word by somebody, and your day is changed. Did it take any money? No. Happiness does not always come with money. Yes, money in today's times has its own role. It always had a role. Nobody is denying that. And we have to be practical. But we have to learn to see beyond that also. We have to understand what is our happiness and how much time in our day are we giving to our happiness. That is why I had asked you, write down how many times in the day were you happy? Were you contented? How many times in the day were you sad, agitated? You see, these are not small points. These are very, very profound points, put very simplistically so that we can, approach them easily. That is the way, step by step, observing, understanding, analyzing, removing that what is not necessary, becoming a wise person. That is what is essential. And that is why I had mentioned once, I don't know if I spoke here, I don't think so. COVID, we had spoken about this COVID business. COVID, one reason why I feel that COVID is more than just a disease is, do you know what COVID in Sanskrit means? Ko-vid, with vidya, knowledge. Who is that wise person? Ko-vid, who can live life, who knows what is life and live it properly. That is the query. Why? This is my interpretation. Why is it that suddenly this COVID came up? It is not an Indian making that it was made, because we thought so. No, it happens because there's a divine hand over there. And therefore, from a COVID idiot, शुरू में बहुत बोलते थे ना, person who doesn't follow the COVID rules becomes a COVID idiot. But we all are idiots. We don't know what is correct, what is not correct. So from idiot, COVID idiot, we have to become Ko-vid-wan. So who is that person who is a wise person, who knows how to live life correctly? That is the challenge of our times. And since we are speaking of Vidwan, who better than the Vidya Data, the origin of all knowledge, Ganesha, to show us, to illumine that path. That is the significance of Ganesh Aradhana. So with this, I hope some points have become clear. I hope you will try and implement at least one bit in your life. Because if we don't, there's no point. There is a saying, and with this, let us conclude. Pustakastu ya vidya, parahasta gatam dhanam, karyakale samutpanne, nasa vidya nasa dhanam. Pustakastu ya vidya, that knowledge which is sitting there in the books, and parahasta gatam dhanam, that wealth of mine which has gone to somebody else. Karyakale samutpanne, when the need arises, nasa vidya, there is no knowledge because it's sitting there in the book. Nasa dhanam, no wealth because it is sitting in somebody else's pocket. Therefore, that has to be within us. And how do we bring it within us? Through efforts, through purushartha, step by step, bit by bit, one step at a time. So, therefore, waste no time. Take up one step. Doesn't matter that till today I didn't do anything. Now that we know we didn't do anything, let us not waste time. Let us take that first step and the second step and the third step. And remember, life is like a game of snakes and ladders. We don't know when that ladder is going to come. So let us walk one step at a time, and suddenly a ladder might open up and we jump 100 steps ahead and we are next to, or we are at the destination. Have that faith, have that trust that yes, there is somebody above who is looking after us and who is guiding us, who is showing us the path. Let us take that resolve to take that step, one step at a time, and leave the rest to him. With this, let us conclude today's session. We shall meet tomorrow morning. Namo Narayan. Please get ready to chant Om and Shanti Path. Eyes closed. The form of Ganesha in the eyebrow center or in the heart center. Taking a deep breath to chant Om 3 times altogether. Shanti mantras. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Hari Om. That's it. Namo Narayan. Stay safe. Take care. And resolve to take that first step with the strength of the chanting and the blessings of Lord Ganesha. Namo Narayan.
Namo Narayan.
Namaste.